Welcome back, and wow, what an honor to have with us today Pamela Geller. She's the author of a new smash hit called Fatwa, Hunted in America. She's also the founder and editor and publisher of the Geller Report and president of the American Freedom Defense Initiative, AFDI, and Stop Islamization of America, SIOA. There's a lot going on. There's a picture of the book there on the screen. And her website is Pamela Geller, GELLER.com.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Breakthrough Media.
Hi, Pamela. Good to have you with us. How are you today?
Very well, Perry. And yourself?
Great. Thanks for your time. What an honor. Well, congratulations on your new book. And tell us, what are you trying to convey here? What do you want us to get?
Well, this is my most personal and significant book because as longtime readers and supporters know, I've never talked about the personal aspect to this work. But I really thought it was time to explain and describe, first of all, why I got into this work, and it's not even work, it's really a calling, and what it's like to live under constant death threat in America simply because you defend our freedoms. And that's what this book describes. It's the story of how a New York City career girl became what my critics call the most notorious anti-Muslim racist bigot in America, or as the Southern Poverty Law Center, a true hate group, calls me, the anti-Muslim movement's most visible and flamboyant figurehead. There's all kinds of names for me, which is what they do. It's what the leftist Islamic Alliance does. It tars and feathers, it smears, defames, and libels anyone who works in defense of Americanism and freedom. And so this book describes what it's like to be an American, born in America, and live under constant death threat because you have violated the Sharia, you have violated the blasphemy laws under Islamic law. And the reason why every American should read this book is because I'm just a proxy in this terrible long war. What happens to me happens in small and large ways to every American who stands for freedom. And it's a very dangerous situation that we're in. Mm-hmm. Right now, as we speak, there's a trial going on in Boston in an Islamic plot to behead me. Of course, it comes out that there's an FBI informant involved in the plot that I was never warned of. Just like in Garland, Texas, when I held a free speech event in defense of the First Amendment, and jihadis opened fire on that event, we found out later that the FBI was in on the planning. They were at the event. This is not speculation. This is fact. This was entered into a court case, and 60 Minutes, CBS, the gold standard of journalism, did a piece on it. The FBI was at the event. They were actually in a car behind the jihadis, got out and started taking cell phone footage when the jihadis began firing, and then drove away, and was actually pulled over by local law enforcement thinking that they were part of the jihad plot, that the FBI was part of the jihad plot. The FBI never warned us. They had no one there to protect or defend us. It was my private security that took out those jihadis. This book is full of stories like that the American people know nothing about because the media is decidedly leftist and Sharia compliant. They will not criticize or offend Islam. And this is what we're up against. And I think people need to know what we're up against. And you will understand it far better once you've read the book, which is available at fatwabook.org. It is the story of living under death threat in America, an American in the 21st century.
Wow. You went basically from an apolitical person to where you are today, being called every name in the book. All of us came out of 9/11 completely shocked and changed, but that shock and change didn't last very long, and we're still fighting terrorism today. We have a president that seems to get it, that we are fighting, it is a war on terror. Where do you think we are today, Pamela? Do you have any hope whatsoever where we are today with immigration and some of the things that we're trying to address?
Well, while there are free men still fighting and yearning for freedom, there is always hope. The fact that in spite of an enormous machine, the media, movies, entertainment, culture, academia, which, let's be honest, I just came from Berkeley just 2 weeks ago, where the young people, the millennials who have been indoctrinated in this toxic ooze of leftist poison, were marching against the free speech, okay? Take that in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Marching against free speech. It's so pre-war Germany, it's frightening. But of course, in spite of this, Donald Trump was elected. And so now what we're seeing is the left is going after the apparatus that they think is responsible for that. They have the media, they have the movies, they have the music, they have the culture. So how did Donald Trump get elected? Oh, by social media and sites like mine. Take, for example, my Facebook page. My groups have pages, but my personal page has 1.2 million followers. Well, Facebook has blocked my news feed from the timeline of my followers.
Really?
YouTube deleted my channel. After 12 years, they deleted my channel. And if it wasn't for the public outcry on social media, calling them out, it would never have been reinstated. Google has scrubbed all of my posts, over 40,000, 15 years worth of work from its search results, and has scrubbed any posts and articles that are critical of Islam, jihad, or Sharia. So all you get when you search for jihad or Sharia is Islamic apologetics.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because I can't pass this moment up, excuse me. Then you must be following net neutrality. I mean, think about net neutrality. If this is given the light of day, what this is going to do.
Agreed. I mean, look, the internet was the last, frontier in free speech. And the war is being waged on so many fronts. I mean, we're shadow banned on Twitter. Google AdSense, which is the only way a website makes money, is from ads. And Google has a monopoly on that. They banned my site just recently for it's a dangerous and derogatory website. This is, and you're starving the movement. While we see, for example, that the left is wildly financed by the George Soros's Media Matters, American Center for Progress, and Southern Poverty Law Center has $300 or $400 million. And then you have these clowns like George Clooney contributing and donating another couple of million. Or the owner of MGM Resorts in Las Vegas urging their employees to give to CARE, a terror-tied group, the Council of American Islamic Relations, an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terrorist funding trial in our nation's history.
An explanatory memorandum of the general strategic goal for the group in North America written 5/22/1991. Now, this document was presented as evidence in the largest terrorism trial ever in the history of the United States, where our government sued the Holy Land Foundation for funneling and raising millions of dollars in America to finance terrorism overseas. And they handed down 108 guilty verdicts in that trial to Muslim American and Muslim American organizations raising money. So here is the plan. In this plan, I'm just going to quote you one paragraph that will give you an idea of what the Muslim Brotherhood is talking about. They talk about understanding the role of the Muslim Brother in North America. They say the process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process, meaning a cultural jihad process, with all the word means. The Ikhwan, which is the Arabic word for brothers, must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands, meaning our hands, and the hands of the believers, meaning the Ikhwan, the Brotherhood, so that it is eliminated and Allah's religion is made victorious over all other religions. Now, do they mince words? Is there anything vague about this?
No.
Nothing vague.
We have never been faced with an enemy that tells us exactly why they hate us. They have no hidden agendas. They don't beat around the bush. They tell us why they hate us. They not only tell us how they hate us or why, they issue press releases about it, they write plans about it, they put it on the internet, they even recorded video press releases and send it to Al Jazeera to air worldwide. We cannot say we did not know how much they hate us.
Wow.
We can no longer hide
true.
and say they hate us.
Now,
But
what about
the most important
go ahead. Yeah.
part of this plan is the last page.
Okay.
Because the last page lists 29 front Islamic organizations set up in America for the sole purpose of the destruction of the United States. Now, a lot of you have heard some of these names, but I'm going to say some to you. Number one on the list is ISNA, the Islamic Society of North America. If that name sounds familiar to you, it's because they are now advisors to President Obama about Middle East policy. The president of ISNA wrote President Obama's speech, his first famous speech to the Arabic world. The president of ISNA wrote that speech. So we not only have the fox watching the hen house, we have the fox inside the White House talking policy in the ear of the president. And you wonder why our president has thrown our allies under the bus and is cozying up to our enemies. Number two on the list is the MSA, the Muslim Student Association. The Muslim Student Association has more chapters on American college campuses than the Democrats and the Republicans combined.
That's shocking.
And we wonder how we're losing our universities. Number 8 on the list is NATE, the North American Islamic Trust. The North American Islamic Trust holds the deed to over 90% of mosques in the United States. Actually, the mosque that President Obama went and spoke at, remember a few weeks ago he went and he gave that address? That mosque is owned by NATE, is linked to ISNA, and that imam who preached at that mosque, we ended up killing in Yemen because he was, after he left the mosque, he became an operative for Al-Qaeda in Yemen. And that same mosque has been under surveillance by the FBI because its members were plotting to blow up government buildings. And that's the mosque that Obama chose to go visit and speak at a few weeks ago to talk about tolerance. And the last example I want to give is an organization called IAP, number 22 on the list, which later became CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, which a lot of our audience is probably familiar with CARE. And by the way, if you go to our website, actforamerica.org, and click on the Muslim Brotherhood, you will be able to get a listing of all these front organizations listed here so you can read about them all. We link their founders, who they are connected to, who their friends are, how infiltrated they are into our government, how they are advising our government. It's beyond belief.
CARE, a terror-tied group, the Council of American Islamic Relations, an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terrorist funding trial in our nation's history, the MGM CEO is urging his employees to donate, and they will match donations. We receive no such from anyone. Our funding is from the individual. But this is what we're up against, why people need to get educated, to get this book, to share this book, and to get it now. Because if the pre-order are significant, I can get into bookstores. Bookstores won't carry our books. They won't carry books by conservative authors that they deem, quote unquote, controversial. But we're living in an age of the absurd where truth is the new hate speech.
Let me ask you, this is a hard question, and I think we're all asking the question. We don't seem to come up with an answer. Why does those who oppose you and your efforts with your blogs and your book, why do they want to see America destroyed? Why do they want to be pro-Islamic terrorists? What is it that they are literally looking for?
Well, it's largely the left. And the question is, why is the left aligned with the jihad force? And it's really very simple. The left loves whatever totalitarian ideology there is of the day. 100 years ago, it was communism or Stalinism or the National Socialist Workers' Party which was a socialist ideology, which was the Nazi Party, was the National Socialist Workers' Party. If you read Mein Kampf, he was a hard leftist, Hitler was. The left is statist. The left is collectivist. The left is about control. The right, it's really not even left-right. It's a battle between the individual, which is, let's be honest, what the American government, the American experiment was founded on, individual rights. That is the founding principle of this nation, versus collectivism. So it's a natural marriage that the left, which loves control, would make this uneasy alliance with the Islamic world, because the Sharia, Islamic law, is the most effective system of governments for control. It's all about control. It controls every basic aspect of daily human life. It's a perfect marriage.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I'd love to have you back because there's so much here to talk to you about. Because at the end of the day, if we go down this Islamic control and Sharia law, it's going to force people to convert to Islam or you're going to die. And I don't think they look at that part of it. Hey, thank you for your time. Let's reconnect. Let me say to our folks and viewers and listeners, check it out. Fatwa, it's Hunted in America. Her personal website is PamelaGeller.com. And where's the book available? You got your own website for the book?
The book is available, of course, at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. But just go to fatwabook.org or Geller, that's with an E, G-E-L-L-E-R, Gellerbook.com, and get the book. Right. It's an eye-opener, it's shocking, and it's deeply, deeply disturbing.
Thank you for your time. Blessings to you. We'll connect again, okay?
Thank you so much, Barry.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Are you listening?
Breakthrough Media.